Hey everyone, this is going to be my AR guide for Season 2. For people who don't know me, I'm an 11-time rank 1 Demon Hunter, something like that. And I got rank 1 in the War Within Season 1 on 2 characters, and Shuffle and in 3s. And I was the highest rated DH in Shuffle overall at the end of the season. In this video, I'm going to kind of structure it in a really simple way. I'm gonna cover the changes between Season 1 and Season 2. Then I'm gonna go over the best talents, the talent variations, and then I will show you how to actually do your damage, and then talk about how doing damage in an optimal way is not always like possible. So I'm gonna show you how to do damage without doing it optimally. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna talk about the changes between Season 1 and Season 2. So AMN, here's the talent tree. So AMN got removed. So AMN getting removed means that our Immolation Aura no longer scales up mastery unless we play a Fire Inside, which we will never play. So Immolation Aura is no longer like a damage ability for us, and that's why we don't play going for an Unburning Wound anymore. Additionally, we got a new talent called Screaming Brutality, which is essentially the tier set from Season 4 of Dragonflight. When you blade dance, throw glaives throughout, which is super nice because now combining with Master the Glaive, it means that when we blade dance, we're also slowing our target and people around them, which is super awesome. This makes chasing down mages and stuff like that, hunters, like much easier. And because of this throw glaive thing going on, throw glaive is actually a big part of our damage. So if you look at like some of my games, you know, Soul Scar is actually my top damage. Obviously this is with Reaver's Glaive, but if you look at my Throw Glaive, which is purely this Screaming Brutality talent, it is 3% of my damage. And since Soul Scar adds a bleed on top of that, this Throw Glaive probably did, including this the Soul Scar, 6 million damage, if not more. So my Throw Glaive is actually like somewhere up here. So it's one of my highest damage abilities, so it's really, really good. So now we play Soul Scar with an Accelerated Blade to modify this and make it stronger. Another change is Cycle of Hatred. So Cycle of Hatred last season was dependent on uptime. So our I-Beam CD would get reduced the more times you press Blade Dance and Chaos Strike. This season, activating I-Beam gives you a stack of Cycle of Hatred, and each stack reduces the CD of your next I-Beam by 5 seconds. So if you look at my buffs here, I have 1 stack. You always start out with 1 stack, and if I press I-Beam now, I have 2 stacks. And then if I meta and press I-Beam again, I have 3 stacks. So now the I-Beam, the CD of my next I-Beam will be reduced by 15 seconds. So after I-Beam 4 times, actually I guess 3 times, the CD of your I-Beam becomes 20 seconds, which is essentially what the lowest, like the lowest I-Beam cooldown was possible last season. That is the baseline after you I-Beam 4 times, which is super awesome. So this means that you don't actually need a bunch of uptime anymore, and you can actually play to your class's strength and kite and stuff between your damage windows without feeling bad. Because last season, or well, pretty much every season of Demon Hunter in Dragonflight, and the first season to War Within, you needed like uptime to reset your I-Beam, and then because you had to do that, you would have to basically die because you're squishy, and it felt bad. So this is awesome. Another big change is Unbound Chaos and Inertia. So Unbound Chaos last season increased damage of your Fell Rush. Now it increases damage of your Fell Blade or Fell Rush. Also, it gets triggered by Hunt and Venture Retreat. I'm not sure if it was the same last season, but that's how it is now. And Inertia is the same thing. Inertia gets triggered off Fell Blade or Fell Rush. So this means that when you do Venture Retreat, you can Fell Blade back, and it'll do a lot of damage. Like we saw it there, it did 700k damage, which is quite a lot. Another big change is for Eldrachi Reaver. Wounded Quarry got changed, so now instead of randomly giving you souls and doing no damage, it will now expose a weakness on the target that has Reaver's Mark. And remember, you can only have Reaver's Mark on 1 target, and it causes any physical damage you deal to any enemy to also deal 20% of that damage to your marked target as Chaos. So this means that this scales up Mastery, making Mastery even stronger. So, you know, right now in PvP, I have about 80% Mastery. So that means that you know, about 36% of all physical damage I deal will also be dealt to my target. And so this means, but we have to remember, it's only physical, okay? And the only physical things you actually have is all of the, damn, I really want to do the rate finder. Okay, anyway, it's all the yellow stuff. So this, and this. So these three. So Fear of Eldrazi, Throw Glaive, and Reverse Glaive. These are the only things that are gonna increase or trigger Wounded Quarry. So what this means is that you wanna do Fear of Eldrazi now because of Wounded Quarry. So we're gonna get into that in a bit. Oh yeah, and Sigil Spite and Hunt is Chaos now, and they scale up your mastery. So you know, AMN being gone, they still scale up mastery, so that's really good. I think that is it. Yeah. Okay. So then now, oh, actually no, there's one more thing. Illidan's Grasp is a new PvP talent, which is essentially like the Shaman Lasso, and it causes the target to be stunned for 5 seconds, and you deal like very little damage to them, and you can move while channeling it, and then you can toss them whenever you want to. This talent is really, really shit. Hopefully I can find someone to doable quick. Alright, I found someone. Okay, so if you look at the buffs here, I'm gonna cap them here, say trinkets. Okay, never mind. Maybe I have Fear Mage trinkets. No. Okay, anyway. So as you can see here, it's magic, right? And then I can throw them at the end. And that's really it. So they can dispel that. Like their healer can dispel that, which is really, really bad. It's really, really bad. So yeah, I don't recommend playing this talent ever, unless you're playing BG Blitz, in which case it might be worth it. Might be worth it. Okay. So the variations on talents is basically you can drop unhindered assault for evasive action if you're fighting like a mage or a balanced druid or something, and you feel like you need 2 venture retreats so that you can have your glimpse uptime higher. You can also drop the Isolated Prey for Trail of Ruin if you want a bit more damage. But to be honest, I think Isolated Prey is, in PvP, way better. You could also drop Critical Chaos and improve Chaos Strike for Scars of Suffering and Trail of Ruin if you have like literally no uptime. Although I don't really do this in any games, but you could technically, if you wanted to min-max your details damage. But I think effective damage, I think Chaos Strike is more important. You can also drop Demon Muscle for either Short Dark or Long Dark. I don't really play Long Dark ever, but I think Short Dark can be good if you're finding yourself in situations where you're playing games that last, you know, 6 minutes, you know, 7 minutes, stuff like that. You know, pitch back can be pretty good. But Demon Muscle, you know, isn't good into every team, you know. So, you know, if you're fighting a team where Demon Muscle actually does nothing, you can drop it for Sigil of Misery or Shadow Restoration. That's fine. You know, if you look at my healing in like some of these games, like 3-minute game, you know, I do quite a bit of healing. And most of it is from souls, right? So Shadow Restoration is definitely not a bad talent. I really like Vengeful Bonds as a spec, because when you do your damage, you very often do Venture Retreat into I-Beam. So it's nice that the target is slowed so they don't like run away. Your Blade Dance does throw out glaives, which does slow them, but it's only 50, and your Venture is 70. So that's definitely makes a difference. Your PP talents you basically don't wanna fuck with at all. Like you can maybe play reverse here and there, but you don't wanna fuck with this at all. And that's basically honestly your talents. Okay, so now I will go over how to actually play this spec. So the first important thing that you need to know is how everything works. So every time you consume 6 soul fragments or you cast Haunt, your next Throw Glaive turns into a Reverse Glaive. So as you can see here, I get 1 soul here, I get 2 souls here, and I get 4 souls here, and now I have 6. and now it returns the Reaver's Glaive. And another thing to note is that whenever you Fell Blade here, your Fell Blade consumes 5 nearby soul fragments. So whenever you have a lot of soul fragments out, you can use Fell Blade to pick them up. So for example, if I do this, and there's a soul over there, you know, it's really annoying to have to go get it. I can just Fell Blade this guy, and it will come to me. So when you have a Reaver's Glaive, what do? So you throw it, and it does a lot of damage, a shit ton of damage. And if you can ever have your inertia active when you throw it, that's good. Don't force it, but it's very good. If you have demon proc, it's completely broken. So that's great. You get 2 buffs, Reaver's Rending Strike and Glaive Flurry. So Glaive Flurry does it so that when you press Chaos Blade Dance, all the glaives throughout, as you can see here. Fury of Eldrachi throws out, which is, the talent is called Art of the Glaive. It's not called Art of the Glaive. Okay, they changed the name. What the hell? Alright, that just fucked my head. Okay, anyway. So you do like some slashers, some Fury of Eldrachi slashers. And then if you, let me just hunt here to get one. There we go. If you Chaos Strike, you apply Reaver's Mark. And then the sequence you do these in changes things, okay? So if you do, so the first ability you cast, or the first one you cast, will do 10% increased damage, and the second one will do 20% increased damage. So now, because I do Chaos Strike first, my Blade Dance will do 20% increased damage now. Okay. Additionally, if you do Reaver's Mark after Blade Dance, so that means that if you do Chaos Strike after Blade Dance, you apply 2 stacks of Reaver's Mark to the target. So as you can see here, if I do Blade Dance and then Chaos Strike, there's 2 stacks of Reaver's Mark. Now if I do the other way around, if I do Chaos Strike and then Blade Dance, my Blade Dance, the Fury of Eldrachi will hit twice as many times. And this is what we want. This is what we want. We don't want 2 stacks of Reavers. 2 stacks of Reavers is nice, but we actually want the other one, the 6 Fury of Eldrachis. So basically, every single time you throw a Reaver's Glaive, you want to do Chaos Strike Blade Dance when you consume these, always, okay? Another important point is that when you do consume these 2 things, you get Thrill of the Fight, which increases your damage by 15%. So basically, every time you do Chaos Strike Blade Dance, that's when, if you have any good damage abilities, that's when it's a good time to send them. So for example, Sigil Spite or something like that. So the normal like burst rotation, like the optimal burst rotation looks like this. So you want to do Haunt, because this will give you a Reavers. And then you will throw Reavers, which will give you your 2 empowered Chaos Strike and Blade Dances. Then you will I-Beam to get into Metamorphosis. Then you will Chaos Strike to, first of all, send your Inner Demon. But second of all, spend your empowered Chaos Strike. Then you will Fell Blade to get Inertia. Essence Break, so the target takes increased damage from your Blade Dance. Then you Blade Dance into the Essence Break. And then you will Venture Retreat meta. Because the reason why you Venture Retreat meta is because this gives you an Inertia, which you can spend. So then you Venture Retreat meta into another Blade Dance. Now you do 2 Blade Dance into Essence Break. And then you do Fell Blade after that to proc your Inertia. And after that you can do either spam Chaos Strikes or you can do a Sigil Spite depending on the situation. So I'm just gonna show you. So first I'm gonna get some Fury, like this. Then I will Hunt, Reaver's Glaive, I-Beam, Chaos Strike, Fell Blade, Essence Break, Blade Dance, Venture Retreat meta, Blade Dance, Fell Blade. I guess I can I-Beam here, that's good. And I can just do a lot of Chaos Strike spams. Right now Chaos Strike spamming seems good, because I have a lot of souls. If I didn't have a lot of souls, I guess I wouldn't want to do Chaos Strike spam. I would want to do Sigil because, you know, I want my souls. So now I have no souls. You see I have 2 stacks, so now I will do Sigil Spite. And now I get another Reavers. And now I will actually Venture Retreat to get an Inertia, so that when I send my big Blade Dance here, that was empowered from the Reavers, I had Inertia up during it. And now I need 1 more soul, so I will use Consume Magic to get it. And I will Reavers now. And then I will I-Beam before sending, and then I do Essence Break, Chaos Strike Blade Dance, So you see how I wanna, like, if I'm able to, I want to be in Metamorphosis when I send my Chaos Strike Blade Dance that is empowered from Reavers. It's not necessary, but if I can, I want to do it. And the reason why is due to the damage increase. So now I do Venture Retreat, I-Beam, Fellbait, Chaos Strike Blade Dance. So now I have Inertia on the pop. As you can see, I'm doing 1.3 million DPS, which is crazy. And I'm, you know, whenever I look at my soul stuff, right now I nearly need 1 soul. So in this situation, you know, I could just fear the guy and I will get a soul, or I could consume magic. So now again, I do Reaver's Glaive, Venture Retreat, I-Beam, Fellbait, Essence Break. I'm stuck. Chaos Strike, Blade Dance. And I'll have a throw of the fight. So now I will hunt into it, proc my Inertia, send a Sigil, which is increased by my throw of the fight and Inertia, just a 2 million damage non-crit. Now I got Demon proc. I Venture Retreat back to get Inertia again. Flip it back in. Now I have Inertia. I do a Blade Dance. Now I will Reverse Glaive again. And then I'll just do Blade Dance here. And that's, yeah. That was like my thought process when I do my burst. Okay, so this is like an optimal situation, okay? I'm having fun, I'm doing whatever I want, right? So to put this into like a logic standpoint, so you can like think about, instead of thinking about a whole sequence, you think about the individual, like local. So like I do Reverse Glaive, what is my next global? Instead of thinking about a whole sequence, you think about, okay, I do a Reverse Glaive, what is the best next global of that? I do a Chaos Strike, what's the next best global of that? So you think about it in a more local sense. And if you think about it in a more local sense, you want to think about it like, you want to send your I-Beam off cooldown, okay? Then you also want to get as many Reverse Glaives out as possible. This is very important. Then you also want to make sure that when you do your Reverse Glaive, if you're able to, you want Inertia and I-Beam, or well, Inertia and Metamorphosis active, and Metamorphosis you get by pressing I-Beam. You want these active when you send your empowered Chaos Strike and Blade Dances. Then you also want to make sure that you send Essence Break with your Metamorphosis, and ideally with your empowered Reverse Glaive, empowered Chaos Strike and Blade Dances. So that's like the thought process, okay? So that's like how the whole thing works. So if I do it again, I hunt, I send my Reverse. Now I don't have any Fury. I ideally want to I-Beam, and then I want to send my Inertia, Chaos Strike, Essence Break, Blade Dance, Glimpse, Meta, Blade Dance, and then proc my Inertia again, and then I-Beam. And you see how like I'm using things, and now I need Soul, so now I Sigil Spite. And now I have my Reverse again, so then I send my Reverse, and I Chaos Strike. And I'm just sending Chaos Strikes here. Now I can send a big Blade Dance here. I Fellbait to get some Fury. I need Souls here now, so now I press Consumes Magic. I send a Soul, a Sigil Flame on the ground. And now I have my Reverse again, so now I will actually Glimpse, because I did do my Reverse. Now I have damage increase in my Blade Dance here. My I-Beam is back, I press I-Beam. You know, that's how it is. Okay. Now, the optimal damage is not realistic, okay? It's not realistic to do this, because you will get CC'd. So that's why I'm saying like you need to think about it in like a local sense instead of thinking about the whole sequence, because the whole sequence is not ideal. Like I can do it right here on a target dummy, but in a PvP you cannot. So that's why in a PvP scenario, you just want to try and like, you know, you want to try and do the sequence, but you want to try and also maximize your damage. Like here, I have like Reverse Mark, or sorry, I did Reverse Glaive. So here I want to do Venture Retreat, I-Beam. But let's say I got CC'd here. Let's say I got CC'd now, okay? So this sucks. I got CC'd. What the fuck do I do now? Well, now I don't have meta on my shit, but I still just send it. It's fine. But I don't send Essence Break, because that would be a waste. But I still send it, and it's still fine. I do the same thing, just without meta, okay? Now let's say I hunt it here, and now I get CC'd again. And now let's say I get CC'd so much that my Inertia falls. That sucks. And let's say I don't have Venture Retreat. Let's say I don't have Venture Retreat, okay? I would just send to go without Inertia, okay? So you want to like work with what you have, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And you want to not like think about it so much as in a sequence, because like a lot of people I coach, they think about their damage rotation as a sequence of events instead of individual actions you can take. that as a whole becomes a sequence of events. Okay. So that's basically how you deal damage. There's no like burst, or there's no like consistent damage, because as Eldrazi Reaver, your whole damage rotation is essentially a burst sequence the whole time. So yeah. Now a very, very important point I need to reiterate is you want to get Reaver's Glaive off as soon as possible in the game. So when the game starts, you actually just want to send your hunt instantly. Okay, literally instantly. You walk in, you melee Aura, you switch off Flame, and then you just send hunt, because this gives you a Reaver's Glaive, and because you get Reaver's Glaive, you put Reaver's Mark on the target, and because you put Reaver's Mark on the target, the target gets Wounded Puri, which means that you get more Soul Fragment generations, which means you get more Reaver's Glaive. Like, the whole thing is about Reaver's Glaive, so that's why I'm like iterating it so much. And I'll definitely recommend getting a Weak Aura to track your Demon proc, because when you have Demon proc, your Hunt will deal 60% more damage. I just did 2.2 mil non-crit. Normally it will do 1.4 mil. So, you know, Demon proc triple dips some stuff. It triple dips my Hunt. It triple dips my Reaver's Glaive. So Demon proc is 60% decreased damage on some abilities. So it's very important to track your Demon. It's also very important to track how many Soul Fragments you have consumed. Because when I'm at 5, Consume Magic all of a sudden becomes a great fucking global to get one more, so I'm at 6, you know? But if I'm at 1 stack, Consume Magic is all of a sudden not the greatest global, Seal of Spite becomes the best global, right? Because I want way more souls. So I definitely want to recommend doing that. All these things are available in my Discord for subscribers. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I believe that's it. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I will be streaming quite a lot over my Twitch channel. You'll see the link in my description. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if I missed anything, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll answer any comments on the YouTube video. I'll catch you guys later.